got 5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
For the day, whatever number it is now, a few away from 200. 200. I'm aware this mic is awful. It's broken. It's got tape around it. It just died out of nowhere for some reason. Like, it wasn't showing any signs of slowing down. It just died. And it's like, I know I need to get a new one, but it's just one of those things. It's just like, I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Like, I've said this before, but like, me and spending money, I'll admit it. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. You know, and the world looks at that and calls you stingy for it. And I've said this before. I'm not stingy. I'm just not liquid. Right? Two very different things. There's, you know, I if I had a lot of money, I wouldn't still not be spending it, which is what I would count as actually being stingy. Is if you actually just don't have a lot of money, then, you know, I don't think it's stingy, man. I just think it's, you know, cautious, scary. You know, I don't not like having money more than I like having a bit of money. So if I have a bit of money, I just won't spend it, because I would much rather this than none. Like, I hate, you know, and I know there's a line. You could be like, oh, I'm just not going to go under this number or that number. But, like, I don't know. It's a slippery road. And earlier this year when I had £0 and, like, it was just like, you know, things you didn't think about before, like the subscriptions fees coming out each month. I got to pay insurance and a couple other things. And then, like, just travel to get about. Things you don't usually think about but just come out of your account regularly. That, you know, not just being able to just do that without thinking about it, you know, that was an L. Like, things like buying a mic. This mic's not even good. It's shit even when it does work, and it was cheap. It was like the cheapest one on Amazon, and that looked half decent, like, visually, but not actually good. So it's like, I should just buy another one, and I will. I'm gonna buy the bullet and do it. And to be honest, actually, I need to buy, like, a proper camera and stuff. But things like that, again, it's like sinking money into stuff like that. Like, I know it's important, but you see a lot of people say they're not. They try and put that type of stuff off for as long as they can, because, like, those are big investments, and you kind of just want to go out and get sick when you don't really want to, like, step your way up. You're gonna end up spending more money in the long term. So it's like, you kind of just want to wait, and then, you know, go. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about today. I've remembered. Keke Palmer, the whole Usher Keke Palmer thing. Her boyfriend. I'm not saying this just to violate him. I don't know his name. I can't remember. I did probably check at the time. This happened probably a couple of days ago now, and I don't remember his name. You know, I'm not just, so if I say it and the guy, or I don't say his name, it's not a dig. I just don't know it genuinely. I just don't know the geezer. This kind of reminds me, like, well, not really, but, like, there was chat about sort of, there's a lot of chat sometimes. Things spark, like, what is acceptable, right, and what's not acceptable in this day and age, right? You know, a lot of, like, you see a tweet and then the reply is always, if I was him, and then, you know, say what they would do, which is usually drop the woman or drop that bitch. So, for example, when Tom Holland had to sort of endure, and they are getting just absolutely used and abused. I don't know. I'm trying to, you know, absolutely just sort of manhandled by Mike. I just farted. I literally just went like that, and I just farted again. I literally just went like that, and then farted. My farts don't smell, by the way. And I know, like, it's harder for you to smell your own farts, but it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. They just don't. I think my diet is just too... It's like only carbohydrates and nothing else. It's very unhealthy. I do eat fruit and stuff. Like, I'm not one of these people who's like, I've never had a fruit or vegetable. I don't eat vegetables, but I do eat fruit. It's like, if I had to say my diet, I know it's a big tangent. It's probably 80% bread, 80%. I'm by the way, I'm skinny as fuck. It's like 80% bread, nowhere near enough meats or proteins. And I like protein. You know, I like if I'm getting a sandwich, I want, like, no vegetables in it and just all meats and cheese and then bread. Like, that's all I want in there, and I'll be happy. But it's mainly it's like 80% bread, 10% fruit, maybe 15% fruit, and then like no 10% fruit, and then 10% just bullshit like sweets and crisps and shit like that. I don't know what you quantify that as. I don't think there's just enough stuff in there to make it smell. You know, I don't really like eat eggs or like I don't know the other stuff that makes stuff smell. Anyway, I shouldn't have thought. I just think I was very unprofessional. The whole Keke Palmer thing. Let me just cut to the fucking shit. I was going to compare it to like the Tom Holland thing. Like that was another time when people were doing the whole "if I was him" type things. But this one's a little bit more real. She wasn't acting. She was just very won over by the voice and or looks of Usher. And there's multiple arguments here. There's multiple arguments. You know, like okay, first of all, in case you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, Keke Palmer was like being serenaded by Usher at like an Usher concert because Usher still does concerts and they still do numbers. And she was like dancing as Usher was like serenading her, and she was wearing sort of what looked to be like imagine like an all-in-one sort of black no, not a bikini. A bikini does a bikini mean two sections? Just imagine like a all-in-one black swimsuit, right? But with like a mesh, not a mesh, but like a black sort of, you know, like the material that you used to have your mosquito net, like type when you was a kid, and sometimes you have those nets over your bed, like that kind of transparent material over the top of it as like a dress. Yeah, and her boyfriend slash husband slash I don't know father of her child then tweeted out like you're a mother. You know, he tweeted no, he worded it like isn't she like a mother though? Like he tweeted it out like just a random account, like he's just another random sort of guy with an opinion on Twitter, but like he's actually like her boyfriend, but he tweeted it as if like he doesn't know her, like he's just like some like guy looking in like I mean, ain't she like a mother though? A bit cringe. And then like okay, so that's the first part of it, right? So that is in isolation what happened. So the two angles is, first of all, is what she's wearing or is it even that revealing? And B, if it is it even his place to give a fuck, or not to give a fuck, but to say? You also got the side of is she being inappropriate? She's in a relationship with a child. You're dancing with Usher, dancing up on Usher, things of that nature. And then C, you got like the whole, regardless of if you believe she's wearing too much revealing clothes, if you believe she was being too inappropriate with Usher, if you believe this or that, or if you got the whole, why say it on Twitter anyway? You know? And that's where I stand. We're in this together. You know? We're all in this together, as they said. You know, great film. And it's just kind of weird. It's just kind of like, mate, just, you know, she gets home and you talk about it. Like, I'm a Keke Palmer supporter. I like Keke Palmer. Whenever I see an interview of Keke Palmer, I'm like, yeah, man, your stocks rise. Like, sometimes I'll see a new clip, and you know when it says it said like Keke Palmer gives her views on cheating, and before I clicked, I'm like, depending on what she says here, this could be another moment where I kind of just like, her stocks just go off and she just makes a take. I'm just like, you know what, I don't know anymore. But then every single time I click a video, I'm like, you know what, no, I'm still on the Keke Palmer fucking train. Choo, I'm all aboard, you know. So it's you know, and I don't know who this guy is basically, but I think there's some videos where she's like, Usher. Okay, a lot of people are saying as well, it's Usher type thing, like being like, oh my god, it's Usher, like goddamn type thing. It's like, it's not like I'm just seeing a random person in public and being like, oh my god, like, and then posting it as a way to like belittle you. Like, it's not quite a Jada Smith, Will Smith type scenario. It's Usher. It's the same way like if you was at like another big icons type performance throughout history, like Beyonce or like one of these people, or Rihanna, you would do that, and that's probably a thing that happens to like, you know, that all the time, right? And is it that weird? Now, again, that I think like that's the type of thing you can have a conversation about, and I don't think you're out of line to be like, yo, I find it still I'm kind of uncomfortable if you do that. I don't think you're outright dangerously insecure for those types of things, right? The dancing up on Usher stuff, You know, I think more so like the problem is, right, you guys live with each other, I assume. She gets home, you just talk about it, and then she seems reasonable. It's like fine, right? Also, a part of it is like I don't know how early on she maybe saw that tweet, or how early on he tweeted after seeing the video, because then it felt like she started to post other videos and like other little snaps out of spite because of that comment to like dunk on him further. So like some of the stuff I'm taking with a pinch of salt and being like, oh, this was just probably done as a retort of that, right? But yeah, I think mainly, right, if this was me, I was trying to put myself in a scenario. If I had like and I had a kid of Keke Palmer, right, and some of those videos were happening, I think, well, firstly, I wouldn't tweet nothing, and secondly, like, I think I would kind of have more of a case to sort of feel a type of way about Usher. Like, maybe you just talk to Usher and be like, hey, Usher, man, I know you're like the sex god or whatever. You're like you're like king of sex or whatever you're pushing, whatever your like brand is. I get that, man, but you know that is my that's my missus, you know, and I'm getting trolled on Twitter right now as a result of this, and like, you know, it don't make me feel too great about it. And if you could just sort of, you know, you know, and Usher'd probably just look at you up and down and smile and be like, as just sort of alpha you that way and be like, yeah, man, it's cool, and then walk off, and I'd be like, brilliant, you know. And I just, you know, I'm just not that way inclined, but I get it. But at the same time, the whole like, if I was him comments is just a bit ridiculous. At the end of the day, why are you airing this type of shit out publicly on Twitter? You're just stupid, and that's just lame. And that just looks like an emotional reaction, which again looks insecure. And then relating it down to like what she's wearing and stuff. Like the whole what she's wearing and stuff, basically calling your own wife, I don't know if they're married, they're not married, I think they've been together like 2 years, your own like partner, a fucking like a slut, right? It's like, that's such a weird like take. Like, you guys are like together, like how she looks reflects on you, how you look reflects on her. You're like, you're a unit. So like, to call your wife, like, I keep saying wife, your wifey a slut, like, oh my god, like, Jesus Christ, what is she wearing? Like, she's a fucking mother, like, Jesus. And also, she's like 29 or like 28 or something. And also, he said it's not like she's like 47 as a mother. And like, also, he was like, because he doubled down, and that's kind of how it got even bigger. He was like, it's just crazy how odd how this generation doesn't understand how to like properly carry themselves and dress in public or whatever and stuff. And it's like, I googled his age. He's like 29 as well. Like, it's not like he's like a 50-year-old man, like from a different time. You can kind of even get it, whether the views are right or not about relationship dynamics or whatever. But it's like, you're 29, man. You're like not even that old. You're not even that much older than the cutoff point to be Gen Z. I'm pretty sure Gen Z, the cutoff point, the oldest people in Gen Z are about 26. So you're only like 3 years outside that. What do you mean like this generate? Like, back in my day, bro, you were like born in the 90s, no? Like, you were born in what, 91? I'm not sure, I'm not good at maths. But like, no. If 96 is 26, then, and he's 29, then it'd be 93, right? It's like, you know what I mean? You're a 90s kid, or more a 2000s kid, realistically, because you was more grown up in the 2000s, the noughties. Like, you know, if you feel it issue, you don't feel it issue. This is down to relationship, personal preference. I can't tell you how to feel, you know. But don't do it on Twitter. Do it on Threads. You know, it's much more, you know, better user interface. No, but you know, just don't do it in public. It's a bit cringe. Especially don't do it as like a sort of an international treasure like Keke Palmer. I feel like if this happened with someone people just don't like that much, it probably would have just blown over. Like, realistically, no one gives a fuck. But people seem to love Keke Palmer, so you sort of stepped on some toes there. Anyway, I gotta catch a train. This was One Line Something. See you in One Line Something Else.
With the kids, and they have like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'd ever meet. He was like,